On the show today, passion propels a farmer to go the extra mile.
Apart from farming, I do storage for cereal crops and legumes.
But if his colleagues won't come with him, will he have to walk alone?
Farmers are even on point.
We have to leave.
The food crisis is growing, and our tables will soon be empty if the world's population continues to increase and food production decreases.
We're not producing enough for our population.
I will do better if I can get source, financial source.
To stop this dizziness in its track, Helen Paul and I from Donga visit the highlands and lowlands of Nigeria, connecting the food heroes on the front lines to experts who can solve their problems, position them to meet the growing demand, and unearth possibilities locked up in fallow grounds. This is Farm and Fortune.
It's okay. Thanks. Are you ready? Yes. Camera is ready. It takes a lot to put a show together, and I'm glad we're doing that just for you on Farm&Fortune.
Yes, every week, every time, it's been very interesting and rewarding putting this show together just for you. And that reminds me, Helen, so far, what has been your best, most memorable moments on the show?
Most memorable moment has been many things to count sincerely. After this, what next? Nothing to aspire for. I think farmers are learning enough from this program.
But there's actually a lot that farmers can aspire to, especially on this show, Farm&Fortune. I mean, there's improved seed varieties, better technology, better processing equipment and techniques, networking, marketing. There's so much more that we can still give them.
Why are you trying to show off like there's not? Is it because I said there's no more thing to aspire?
Yeah, there's more thing to aspire. That even reminds me of that tomato farmer in Kano. You see what he did with his own?
In fact, that property is big that he's using.
I remember that improved farming technique he used to get better yield, better result on his tomato farm right there in Kano.
My name is Helen Paul.
And I am Frank Donga.
On Farm&Fortune.
They've had you. How many times you want to say? You're just shouting.
Actually, the way I become a farmer, I just inherited from my parents. Since from my childhood, I start farming because my father used to take me to his farm. So with time I'm growing, so I start learning. But the time that I start on my own to do it's around that kind of 2014-15. Apart from farming, I do storage for cereal crops and legumes. For instance, like beans. You know, there is times that the price used to go high, like around that kind of August, July. So I do buy and keep it for a while in order to get some profit, in order to expand my business farming activities. Actually, what differentiates me with other farmers is that they have the knowledge. You know, whatever that you are going to do, if you don't have knowledge of how to do it, so at least, even if you do it, you will not get the better yield. This knowledge it includes like hybrid seeds, some of the techniques. For instance, if you can observe this tomato, we do a lot of techniques. It's hard to go around 10 farms to see this kind of technology, like trellising, plastic molds, and also the spacing that we are doing is quite different from the traditional ones. Also, the bed raising. If you can observe the bed, it is quite a bit high compared to our farmers. Also, the furrow, it is quite different. The way our farmers is doing it, that's what differentiates it to me from the other farmers. And also, the moment I start harvesting, if I tell you what I harvested the number of crate or kgs that I used to get, you will surprise, it will shock you, and even the money also. So that's what differentiates me from my farmers, from other farmers. My passion is that I want my farmers to do the way I do it, because I observe most of the time or any season that they do produce, but they are still there are no promotion because they don't have the technical aspect or the knowledge of how to do it. Because most of them, they do practice OP. So in terms of yield, you cannot compare. So that's why I'm trying to guide them and also try to convince them. But you know, our people, farmers, it's not a very small thing to change their own mindset until they practice and see the yield. So that's why I used to invite them if I want to harvest. So the members, they come and see. So at least they used to convince that this is good and this is the right variety that I'm supposed to take. My name is Yusuf Magaji Debai. I'm a farmer.
Wow, it's such a great honor to know so much about an enlightened farmer just like Mr. Yusuf. On Farm and Fortune, we bring you people that are very sound in terms of agriculture. Let's welcome Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have.
It's my pleasure to.
Why are you so interested in agriculture?
Very interesting question. So, over the years, I realized that I have a passion. I have a passion to see young people and generally people become successful at whatever venture they choose to embark upon. So I realized that where I come from, Helen, there's a lot of poverty. I see so much poverty, and that passion to just want to try and help people always resonates with me. So again, I'll tell you, nothing, Helen, I've seen in my business journey can transform a person from the rural area, a poor person, like agriculture. With the right techniques and farming practices, it's a gold mine.
Thank you so much. We have a specialist in the house. She's a soil expert, and her name is Mrs. Agata. So, Mrs. Agata, we're throwing to you. Please tell us about the soil in Kano.
Thank you, Helen. Welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Soil. Today, we are looking at the soils of Dawakin Kudu. Here, the farmer grows rice. And we discovered that the limiting micronutrients or major nutrients here is exchangeable potassium and total nitrogen, while the limiting minor nutrients are boron, copper, and zinc. Let's look at the fertility status of the soil. Here, we discovered that the exchangeable potassium is just 41 parts per meter, while the total nitrogen is just 0.05, which is extremely low. And the boron, copper, and zinc, they are all less than 3%. And this one, the minor nutrient is extremely low for this land area. So what do we encourage the farmers to do? How do they improve this their fertility status? So for the total nitrogen, we encourage the farmers to apply NPK at the rate of 110 kilograms per hectare, which is equivalent to 2.2 bags. And this application should be done immediately the farmer's plant. As he's just planting, he will apply. Then we will apply to supplement for the exchangeable potassium. We apply muriate of potash at the rate of 90 kg per hectare, which is equivalent to 1.8 kilogram. And this application should be done 6 weeks after planting. Then this, furthermore, to supplement more nitrogen, the farmer can still top breast with urea. And this urea should be applied at the rate of 140 kg per hectare, which is equivalent to about 2.8 kilogram. And this application should be done 4 weeks after planting. Then the farmer can still top dress the second time with another urea at the rate of 130 kg per hectare, which is equivalent to 3.6 kilogram. And this application should be done 4 weeks immediately after the previous application. And for the micronutrient, we encourage the farmer to dip his seedlings. That means as immediately they are germinating before he transplants, he should dip them in copper sulfates in order to supply the copper that is needed for this soil. And we also encourage the farmer to apply zinc foliar feeds. That means he has to spray it on the leaves. As the rice started tillering, he should immediately apply to the leaves in order to boost the copper needed for the rice farm. And we also encourage the farmer to apply boron through foliar spray. And if the farmer can try to carry out all this application, I ensure you that his yield will ultimately increase and he will be able to attain the food security drive of the federal government of Nigeria.
Still to come, big things emerge from small spaces, and we discover the science of multiplying tomatoes.
First is productivity,
Okay.
which also translates to profitability.
Plus, we take a walk down memory lane to the moment we hate to forget. Producing the food we eat takes more than a willing farmer and available soil. It involves tools, input materials, technology, and training delivered at the right time to farmers. One-stop shop connects farmers to supplies via a reliable network of brick and mortar stores positioned in and around farming communities.
Before the coming in of the one-stop shop, it has been so difficult for us to get our input.
The moment you come, they'll take your name, videotape you, and then you take the number of bags of fertilizer and other inputs.
Reach out to the One Stop Shop team today. Email us at contact-ng@ocpafrica.com. There is likely a one-stop shop near you or agri-promoters who would be delighted to find their way to you.
It feels kind of weird, strange, sitting alone in this segment without my regular guests, the next-gen farmers. But you already know what that means because it's a season finale, so it's a special one. We've learned tricks and secrets to make farming interesting. Now, you guys know that all of this is very important for what you do, and this is why you love this segment. Now, not only that, we've had some very fantastic, crazy moments where fun has been the order of the day. Let's take a look at some of those moments before the scene and behind the scene. Check them out.
To get your fruit ripened, you can just dip it inside the rice like this, and you'll be able to get something like this.
We're going to use our rice to clean our dirty bottle. Then a little drop of soap, add some water, then shake, and leave for some minutes. And we have our bottle clean as new.
The ones that sack at the bottom of the seeds, of the bowl, you get them out and you can use it for planting.
I not tell you, see how funny moments. It shock you. Now you guys understand it's very much possible to have fun while learning about agriculture. That's what we're all about on this show, Farm and Fortune. We'll be right back.
It's still Farm and Fortune, and in the studio we have another guest. It's popularly known as Mr. African Farmer Mogaji. That's his real name, Mr. African Farmer. Even on his international passport, you don't want to believe it. Welcome, Mr. African Farmer Mogaji.
Thank you.
African Farmer, you advanced farming method. You use the advanced farming method. Okay, so what effect has advancement of technology had on your farming?
First is productivity.
Okay.
Which also translates to profitability and also gives you a niche and acceptance on the market. Because when you use unique products or technology advanced products, when you get to the market accepts your products more, you sell out fast, and you make more money.
What do you think about that?
I couldn't agree more. Let me put something into context for you about technology.
Yes.
Talking about tomatoes now. America, the USA, produces, it has the second largest production of tomatoes in the world.
Okay.
And Nigeria is about the 13th or 14th.
Why are we that far?
I will get to that,
Thank you.
Helen.
Yes.
But America only cultivates 1/4. That's just 25% of the land that Nigeria uses to produce tomato.
Okay.
What does that tell you? Farming techniques, technology. Styles in whatever. So without a doubt, you cannot run away from, and with America, only about 2 states produce most of that. Okay, think about also remember, we have an aging farmer population.
Okay.
Averagely maybe 60, 65. Most of our farmers are getting old, and the younger people are just beginning to wake up to the reality of going into that space. It's still very low. So that's also an issue that we have to put into context to look at. But I think generally just seeing the advantages of this modern technology, which is not very, very, very widespread yet still in Nigeria,
of course,
would definitely has affected the acceptance.
The old farmers are always very consistent with their style, and with or without government, they just keep doing what they know to do best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They've been doing this for years, but the challenge is there's a growing population. There's also a challenge of productivity. The world has moved on. I say we are the oil and gas generation. You know, we've not really seen agriculture come to its full potential.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. I know, because I'm learning, and of course, I feel like asking more and more questions. But because of time, we might not be able to go deeply. But for you to get more information about farming, agriculture, and learn more and see how you can also help yourself and Nigeria, don't forget to follow us on our social media handle, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Farm&Fortune.
Still to come, watch our guests battle it out.
We're about to show them 50,000 naira worth of farm inputs.
Wow.
So you're part of the Omo Shepherdteries?
No.
Stay with us. When you choose to play on the fields of the ancient agrarian marketplace, consider a good coach to take along with you. The Udongo app is your gateway to the Nigerian agricultural ecosystem. Whether you are a newbie or an oldie, signing up instantly connects you with a community of other farmers, products, agents, distributors, and resources all in one place. Access our unique and simple interface from the bustling big cities to the most remote regions across Nigeria. Enjoy full access to real-time farming solutions that help you make timely and profitable decisions. Or allow our one-on-one consultancy services cheer you on with each move you make. As a newbie or oldie looking to make a big agricultural footprint, feel secure knowing you have the best coach always in your pocket. Udongo app is your personalized farming coach, available to you every time, anywhere, just at the click of a button. Download the Udongo app from the Google Play Store now and enjoy new opportunities.
Welcome back to Farm&Fortune. Of course, you've seen Yusuf, our new age farmer. And of course, he's committed, to educating every farmer in Kano. He really wants to work hard. And it's good to know that our experts and, of course, our agricultural people are still in the studio. Why are you smiling?
It's agric we're talking about.
Mr. Dennis, why do you think farmers really need education?
If you listen to Mr. Yusuf,
yes,
he spoke about, he calls people, other farmers, to try and show them how he's succeeding. And he mentioned something about the practices. What is the difference between you, Mr. Yusuf, and other farmers? And he clearly said, because of the practices, Mr. Yusuf learned this thing from somewhere. And that's why extension is so critical to farming. You have to learn and continue to teach. At the moment, one of the biggest challenges to Nigeria's agriculture has been the disappearance of extension workers. There's nobody that is transferring knowledge and technology to our aging farmers. I know that the government is trying to do something, but it's not just about just employing. You have to continue to train and retrain.
Keep training and non-stop.
Absolutely. Consistency in policies to allow commercial investors to come into place. The beauty about a commercial investor is that he has come to make a profit. He's going to look at the whole value chain and ensure that there are no gaps.
Great.
So part of it, for instance, the tomato value chain, he has to engage in extension and teaching of what he wants. He wants tomatoes, he wants quality tomatoes, and he wants high output.
Well, I think from experience, in the 60s, 70s, research and some field, you had the private sector, taking charge of disseminating information, engaging the farmers. They came with a business model that we now call social enterprise.
Great.
And what's a social enterprise? A social enterprise is a business operation that merges profit and impact it's 50-50. It's not, most companies do profit and corporate social responsibility. But they come with, we'll give you seed, we give you fertilizer, we give you extension, we teach you everything, and we take your produce back. We guarantee market. That was what established our cocoa, cola, granite, all those things that made Nigeria top-notch in most of those things then. Right now, the private sector is looking at profit. So it has to do with it too. We did an experiment in a place called Shepeteri, and we went...
Wait, experiment where?
In Shepeteri.
Where is Shepeteri?
It's in Oyo State.
So that musician was serious. Our Shepeteri.
Yeah, Shepeteri is... I've been operating in Shepeteri for like 8 years.
So you're part of the Omo Shepeteris?
No, I'm a player in Shepeteri.
You are just playing with them?
Shepeteri, it's Shepeteri.
Okay, but you know the music I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Farmers are even on point.
We have to leave.
That's so nice. I'm so sorry, just by the way.
So the experiment is we train them, but we've been training them for like 2 years. And so we used pivot irrigation, which belonged to government. So you see, government owned the infrastructure, private sector came in, trained the farmer, provided them with the input. During COVID, they made a lot of money.
Wow.
During the lockdown, they increased the prices 3 times, and the buyers kept buying. And so they made an inquiry to say, why are you buying? They said, because your watermelon is sweeter than the other varieties that they buy. So they kept increasing the price, but yet they kept buying. So the private sector needs to know how to collaborate with government infrastructure, and bring that knowledge. So it's a tripod thing. Government, private sector, and the farmer, and Nigeria is good to go. If you look at Yusuf's tomatoes, 1, he used hybrid tomatoes because of the height.
That's right.
2, he staked the tomatoes, which will increase yield by a minimum of 30%. The variety of tomato that the hybrids actually will give you 30 to 50%, depending on the agronomic practices. So when the farmers see that the yield is higher, the shelf life is higher, and they see that it's making more money, and it will not be cultivating the same expanse of land that others are doing. Based on that result, they would adopt and adapt his methods.
Tomatoes now, I think we're producing about 2.3 million tons of tomato in Nigeria. And
would that be enough for our population?
We're already 700,000 metric tons shortfall. That's what it is. So we're not producing enough for our population. But I want you to consider something. When these projections are made, they are made for now. So the population of Nigeria is growing. So the thing is, if we are shortfall by 700,000 now, what are we going to need by 2025, by 2050? The population is increasing, and that there's no hiding to that.
A big challenge that I'm seeing here in our planning is Nigeria plans for Nigerians. But West Africa depends on Nigeria. So every time there's droughts in Niger and the neighboring countries, they move to Nigeria from Gombe. The northeast, they move from Gombe to buy the grains to Cameroon. When they come and buy the grains go expensive here. So because we plan for Nigeria and we're not doing enough, and we don't plan for our neighbors that depend on us, we will always have that shortage. So the better for Nigerian food security when we begin to plan for West Africa.
Thank you to Mr. Dennis for coming. And of course, a big thank you to our own African farmer.
Thank you.
I'm by the African farmer, Mogaji.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. Over to you, Frank Dungan.
Welcome back, and it's game time on Farm&Fortune. You know how we do it on the game time section. A simple game for a prize money of 50,000 naira worth of farm inputs, courtesy of Farm&Fortune. This time around, our guests are still with us. To my left, I have Mr. African Farmer Mogaji and Ellen. And on this side, you know how it be now, Mr. Dennis and I. So it's very simple. The rules are simple, as you all know. We have 6 pieces of darts per team. 2 teams, your team and our team. All you have to do is in 45 seconds, burst as many balloon as possible. This juicy looking big, giant tomato-like structures. Burst as many as you can. Finally, my chance to show Ellen who's boss. So she will learn today. Sorry, sir, your team now for your handle, but we'll show you. Mr. Dennis, are you ready?
I am.
Let's show them. Our time starts now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You don't come for us, you don't see 5 over 6 until after 9 back. All right, Team Ellen, are you ready? African Farmer Mogaji and Ellen, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Calm down, always respect your
Don't
teacher.
move forward a little.
You can't move anywhere, stay where you are. Okay. You move forward. Your time starts now. No. Ellen, do the same.
Well,
Let's clap for you. You try. No chance. My friend, will you? My friend, check. Start your own. It's a game. We have won. Ladies and gentlemen, it's game over. We have won. Congratulations, sir. 50,000 naira worth of.
Congratulations. 50,000 worth of.
Yes.
You really done well, sir, for yourself. You are the best one I work with. You are too good. It's a great one. Jonathan, I can't believe that you will make us proud. Wow, happiness is from the heart. Yeah,
I don't understand.
You've done so well. This is not the end of the show, but we are just letting you know that the show will continue again next season. So don't think we are ending the show now. We are still going into other farms to discover more farmers, discover more things about agriculture, and we'll still package everything and come to you very, very soon.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media handle at Farm&Fortune on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Until then, this is Farm and...
You didn't say thank you. You just gave them at Farm&Fortune. Is this how you're going to depart from people?
Which kind of while I be this so?
And this is Farm&Fortune. Till next season.
Now my own go laugh. This is Farm&Fortune.
This is Farm&Fortune.
Now Farm&Fortune. Where are you going?
Let's boss.
I already win now.